circumstances proceed toward intended results.
Most bureaucrats I've met are fairly worthless, but Svoboda seems to have perfected the art of being an ineffectual slackwit.
Commander.
Finally, a favorable happenstance. After I became stuck in here, those organisms appeared, all hungry-eyed and slavering profusely. The door jammed. Not sure how. Worked perfectly acceptably earlier. Lockdown and my clumsy fumbling triggered a precautionary security setting. I can't reset it from here, and I'm not particularly enamored of being closed in. Depends on your level of moxie and know-how, I suspect. Let me think. You could try jimmying the door open if you have engineering expertise. Or, I don't know, engage in a routine advanced physical regime. Otherwise, the safety reset is in a wall panel around the corner. Though that seems a bit boring for a dynamic sort like you. Oh, then what are you waiting for? Should be able to make quick work of that door. decidedly in your debt. Anything you need? Anything I, a lowly archivist, can provide you, a heroic individual who is handy with doors? Of course. I am now able to breathe easy and respond freely. Strange question, but yes, all commands path through the hub here. Through that wiring underneath that open floor panel in the back of the room, actually. Well, in my professional opinion, looks like someone rerouted some commands from operations. Not sure which ones. Based on the sloppy state it was left in, I'd say they either barely knew what they were doing or were in a rush, or both. I was in my cot doing advanced equations. After the explosion occurred, I rushed here to check my terminal. The door was creaky to open. I should have known it would lodge in place when it closed, but I was distracted by the disheveled state of the room and rushed inside. Works in operations, right? Always on about her stories. Wish I had time to watch serials and read all day. Well, that's about everything I know about everything. Let you be on your way. Careful on your way out. Try not to be liquefied and subsequently devoured.
Vector's been in there a while now. Perhaps this conundrum is approaching a solution.
I like that Alva. Granted, she's most likely lying through her teeth, but at least she's interesting.
suppose you'll do. I'd been hoping an empiricist or assessor would amble by, but you appear reasonably apt. The Zeranium overflow venting has gone completely haywire. Oh, what else will this higgledy-piggledy nightmare of a day bring? I was ordered to keep watch until a specialist arrives. Might I entreat you to act in such a capacity? The control board to divert the flow of Zeranium is up yonder in refinery logistics. If so, I have something for your time and effort. Well, as a fellow student of science, you'll be especially interested in what I have to offer. We developed a pharmaceutical primer that, technically it poisons you a little, but also heals you quite effectively. Shut off the gas, it's yours. Tremendous. Why, this day may average toward the positive yet. May deliberate endeavors beget expected results. I see my choice in you was well-founded. Zeranium overflow venting has returned to a non-haywire state, and my internal levels of disquietude have lessened along with it. With the leak abated, I am fully prepared to be peppered with queries. Now that you mention it, yes. I recall I was worried about one crisis, and my mind was completely occupied by this other crisis nearby. I must admit, I haven't given the attack a single thought since. I do hope everyone's okay. Not much. Keeps to herself mostly. Or that is entirely. Like all of us, she resided in the barracks 15 degrees to the northeast from here. You mean just after the attack occurred? I was in a state of anxiety at the time, and, well, I'm sure you're aware higher levels of cortisol can impede the encoding of memory. I am greatly grateful you were helpful and effective. Farewell. This card will allow you into our humble little research lab. It's right past operations, can't miss it, unless you do. The pharmaceutical primer I mentioned is inside on display.
May all your endeavors add to the equation.
Hello, dear. Why, we were just talking about you.
Or specifically, potential implications for a multitude of troubling scenarios, based on probable results of your investigation, downstream outcomes, and such and the like.
You know how the Order is, always calculating something. But please, tell us what you discovered.
That you found evidence that the coordinates were rerouted is definitely something. Would be an odd step for Alva here to take, except perhaps to throw blame elsewhere.
I admit I had the knowledge to cause the leak, but not the authorization. And yes, why would I reroute coordinate commands away from here? I'm sufficiently certain our proctor is conspiring with an outside party. So I'm coming out now. She's going to tell me who she's working with. Then I'm going to kill her.
Yes! Now this is definitely taking a turn more to my liking.
Wait a minute. You're going to what? Our investigation, it's unfinished. And you're an initiate. What are you talking about?
Oh, I see you two thought you were proving my innocence. No, you were helping identify my target. I'd advise you, dears, to help or stay out of my way. Proctor Svoboda needs to pay for her actions.
Yes, I concur. That may be the only part of this that seems certain. You are far more capable than some back manufactory button pusher. Who are you, really?
I am a dedicated agent of the Order, but no, dear. My name is not Miriam Alva. I am Marisol Delgado, formerly of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
That group was just a story to scare novice scienticians. Next, you're going to be telling me you're... Wait. It is you, isn't it? The one they called the Endpoint. I must admit, I'm not entirely sure. The rumors about your department. They said anyone who might delay the equation being solved disappeared. If there are any hints of truth to that, I find it severely at odds with Order tenets for balancing efficiency with humanity.
This is hardly the time for a history lesson or debate, I'm afraid. I arrived decades ago to lie low after a difficult assignment. More than that, I have nothing to speak on at present.
That you are who you are, and are standing right, and have been here for years. It's all much to digest. I suspect your methods are not my own, nor the Order's, as I know it. And I fear your intentions for Proctor Svoboda.
It's sweet that you think you can stop me, but I'll elucidate this for you. At this point, you'll either need to trust me or back that worm Svoboda. That ridiculous little functionary upended my existence. For 20 years, I was Alva. It wasn't a good life I had here, but it was quiet. It was mine. It wasn't hers to take.
This would mean standing against a member of the Order. A mid-ranking one, at that. I cannot be party to this, but neither shall I stand in your way.
A wise calculation, my friend. Good thing you showed up when you did. You saved me from having to kill everyone here. Svoboda has much to answer for. Let's go see that she does.
What's this? What are you doing here? Come to surrender, I take it.
After decades keeping this identity, your inexpert blundering has rendered it obsolete. I am Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor of the Order. This would be an ideal time to confess everything. Before you die.
You can't possibly be party to all this. Not with her vast misdeeds so readily apparent.
Our investigator has definitively determined my innocence following a thorough investigation.
I don't know what you found, but any so-called evidence was likely laid there for someone to discover. By a party with years spent in hiding. This is all nothing more than a flagrant example of artifice and bunco. An elaborate song and dance from an admitted imposter.
Enough, traitor. You made your play. You lost. No more deception. No more lies. Time to pay what is due.
No, wait,
Thus concludes a thoroughly distasteful business. Best search her office. Someone clearly was pulling her strings.
Well, you sure cut them. That was breathtaking and hilarious. What artistry, what subterfuge, what aim.
unsealed the effluvium repository. That's traditionally off limits. Ideal spot to hide something. We should take a look. This space used to be brimming with runoff chemical sludge. It's been renovated, I see. Another terminal. Go ahead. You should have the honors. Proctor's efforts appear part of a larger scheme. Clemens? The archivist? Ah, that follows, I suppose. Still more that I missed. This whole affair reminded me of the old days. The blood, the secrecy, the calculations and intrigue. Been trying to tell myself I didn't miss it. But in action, I fear, ill suits me. I have some unfinished business I need to get back to. I could use help from an operator like you. Believe my specific skills could benefit your efforts as well. I'd propose a strategic partnership. You help me, I help you. What do you say? I've an old contact on Cloister I need to look up. Part of a small matter there. Some research the Order considered heretical. Worth restarting, I think. Good, good. It's a little crowded here, though, isn't it?
Sure, I could use a few ticks off my feet. Leg has been aching a bit. But hey, you need me, you know where to find me. And don't let that one stray outside your peripherals, if you take my meaning.
Excellent. Well then, I am quite ready to leave this place.
You didn't receive the most welcome of receptions here. I recognize you've done right by us here today, and I appreciate your efforts.
Initiate Carrington, audio log entry, 10. My orders were to watch for the enemy. Specifically, to never break line of sight to my assigned field of view. But I can hear them advancing along the shore to the south. It's fine. Others have been assigned that field of vision. This is the most efficient method of defense. Architect, they're getting closer. Perhaps I'm taking my orders too literally. I'll just tweak it. No. Trust in the equation. Trust in those greater than I in the order. I will keep looking forward for enemies from that vector. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I have faith that the architect...
This one appears to have been too terrified to even look at us. I almost feel bad killing him. Almost.
Enthusiasm doesn't get the better of me. Those traitors need to suffer.
Never let a locked door stop us before. Let's look for another way in.
Now this is just sloppy. If I wasn't already here to kill all these traitorous fools, I'd be forced to use one or two as an example to the rest.
We can hear those wriggly little grub fingers of yours. Bring them close so we can chop them off!
Stop your silliness, fool! The only ones losing body parts around here today are you and your traitorous friends!
.36 cubed, divided by the standard rate of fluid flow, and then you multiply by... is it 30, or... Oh! Hello!
Look at the state of this poor fool. They just left her bleeding out? Exsanguination is an art. Where's the precision, the pride in their work? This is just embarrassing.
There's a cultist behind you! Wait, surely she isn't with you. Fine. Just please keep her away from me. Architect's mercy, thank you. It is so much easier to be polite when I needn't fear all of my bones sliding out of my body. Oh, dear Archivist Clemens has been so strange lately. So distant, so agitated. And not his normal agitation, mind you. This is something different. Much worse. He's like a wire stretched beyond its breaking point. Never a harsh word to anyone, but being in his presence, well, it's as if his stress is infectious. Best not to push him. He's deeper in the facility, working on something he deemed to be of the utmost importance. Either he is still below, continuing said work, or he is quite dead. And with all those cultists gallivanting about, I don't fancy his odds.
Please, with the way my so-called brethren are comporting themselves, he's more likely to die of boredom. If I was in charge here, all of you'd be dead. He soon will be.
Yes. I'm sure you'll kill them quite well. The crazed people like your friend here have been sowing destruction throughout the range for days. I've seen few firsthand, but that isn't because they've gone. Rather, I believe they have become visibility deficient. Oh, there's no such thing as invisibility. I can only theorize that their visual forms were sent out of phase when they haphazardly tampered with pressurized N-rays.
Their actions are inexcusable. Science allows us to unveil the wonder of the rifts. We do not disrespect it. Now, is there any science around here we can use to find and kill them?
It's a shame the facility is in shambles. We have an N-ray scanner device that may render the cultists far easier for one to locate. The scanner is an optical device designed to detect electrical signals and the N-rays given off by all living beings. Visible or not, the cultists still give off N-rays. It was stored nearby. But with the damage to the facility, you'll likely need to use the maintenance vent on the wall there behind the screen to get anywhere near it. I appreciate your aid. I'm going to wait here and try to prevent my wounds from reopening.
There's the N-ray scanning device the scientist was talking about. That should do it. Let's get on with the killing.
You've opened the way forward. Very good work.
Let me know when you needed a stretch.
You leave at once. You there. You must leave. Is that a cultist with you?
Don't worry. I'm not like these idiots running around here haplessly. If I was here to kill you, it would be no random thing. You'd know it. Are we here to kill this guy, Commander? Good point. We'll kill him after we get the information.
I have nothing to say to the likes of you, except if you attempt to interrupt my work, you will no doubt meet the same end as your fellows. Leave, and you may yet live.
This guy is hilarious. Can't wait to see the look on his face when he realizes how much more worried he should have been about me and all the other nonsense around here. That's a Glorious Dawn communication device. Our cells use them to send and receive encrypted messages.
Victor, I fully understand the importance of your work. This is exactly why I push you so. Your moral justifications for delaying your delivery are misguided. Dead is dead. What matter is it if their ends come in 1 minute or 3? If you seek to be humane in your duties, fine. So long as I get the explosives in time. But if we fail to act, the Order will be lost forever. Collateral damage was always inevitable, Victor. You knew this. And the longer you take in your laboratory, the greater your risk of being caught becomes. If that happens, you know what must be done. But I should remind you that such a failure will result in vastly more suffering for all parties involved. We need those explosives now, Victor. Let's finish this.
When all is consumed, all will become.
Pendulous killing tool who has isolated you from
Unfriendly company. They're gone. Sharpen up. Hostiles nearby.
like the sad little sprat in his corrugated metal cage. Why don't you unlock the door and come out, sprat? Nobody's here.
You, friend of friends, are a greater ally than any number of fellow scienticians. Oh, thank you very, very much for dealing with those cult... it seems you missed one.
What? Where? I thought we dispatched with all of those traitorous charlatans. Fine. Just trying to add some levity into this pathetic creature's drab existence.
I can see it would be best for me to tactically overlook your comrade. Very well. I see you possess our N-ray scanner. Ooh, ingenious device. If I'd had it, I may have evaded being trapped here. Oh, I shouldn't have had to worry. Damn that Victor and damn his hubris. Fitting that his experiment would cause so much strife. Yet he would be untouched by the ensuing pandemonium. Pardon my excitement. It's been an eventful day. I don't know the specifics, only that Victor was performing a procedure utilizing processed N-rays. When those cultists flooded the range, they damaged the N-ray canisters. In the ensuing chaos, Victor's experiment was destroyed. I know some cultists were killed, but many more still live, moving unseen through the range. Survived is something of an overstatement. Most of the cultists died immediately upon exposure, and according to past experiments, those that haven't are experiencing accelerated organ liquefaction. I would be more sympathetic to their collective plight, had they not promised to insert every item in this room down my throat in reverse alphabetical order. Because he refused to follow procedure. He didn't take an assistant or allow anyone to see his data, and now it's all consigned to oblivion. What a waste. Oh, believe me, this is more excitement than I ever wanted. I shall.
enough to approach my holdout, I once again ask you to stop. The path ahead is filled with unseen traps. Whether cultist or wayward scientist, you will be killed. I cannot afford your interruption. Once more, please cease. How many times must I say only death lies ahead? Observe. You have been persistent. Time for that is over. Please. I never wanted this situation to escalate like this. You must understand. But now, all that I wanted is cast to the wind. There is but one option left to me. To save Arcadia, to ensure the future, we must both die. Because the Order cannot be hindered by war or by compromise. Any obstacles must be removed, as much as I regret the need to do so. If DeVries does not receive my explosive, she will resort to a violent assault. Many will die, pointlessly, and in agony. I can at least deliver them an instant, painless death. I thought this explosive vest would be an unnecessary precaution. All I can hope is that by blasting us both from the field of play, the Order shall find its way to truth. Want has nothing to do with it. I have very specific instructions on how to proceed in the face of contingencies such as yourself. And you cannot possibly understand whether I am or am not capable of martyrdom. You do not know my depth of character. At the end of all things, my decisions were predestined. I am not at liberty to divulge the reasoning behind my actions. You're not with the Order. You cannot understand why this would be. Could I explain, the words would be lost on you. Very well, very well. I can spare words with you, explain my perspective. It won't prevent me from doing what I must. If the Order is not prevented from reaching its true potential and solves the universal equation, all scientific uncertainty and any associated suffering will end. If what you say is true, then you have my tentative thanks. However, scientific certainty would absolutely have prevented that from happening. We would have predicted it. DeVries opened my eyes. The Order is on the path to absolute truth. And if they are not interrupted, this truth can be pursued. The one right path for humanity revealed to us. Politics cannot bind us. Uncertainty cannot strangle. And no one can be allowed to waltz in and hurl our plans into disarray. What? How do you not understand the present situation? What coward would strap an explosive device to himself? How many people did you kill on the way here? You clearly don't know what you're talking about. The time for talk ends forever!
My fellow Loyalists, it is time. Due to the Earth Directorate operatives' continued meddling, we must increment our timetable by a factor of hours, not days. Accordingly, our forces have taken over the monastery. Those I predetermined to be resilient to reason have been executed. The rest should not cause us trouble. I have locked the lift to prevent the agent from reaching the monastery, but the following code will grant you access. 34145. I will continue my work from here, supplying Augustine with everything she needs for our plan to succeed, and delaying the agent as I'm able to. May the results of our actions today secure a more prosperous tomorrow for our sacred order.
Seer Wiley isn't very good at this whole seer business, is he? Nice of him to just hand us the code like that. We should remember to mock him for that as he bleeds out. Boy, damn it! We've killed every traitor in this place, but their treasonous scum of a hierarch wasn't among them. The leader of a cell. In this case, that would be Ziegler. And extinguishing him is obviously our next priority. They were operating under his orders. But since he wasn't here to lead them in person, they would have maintained regular contact using one of our communication devices. We should return to the one we saw earlier. It will hopefully yield some worthwhile information. This is it, the Dawn's communication device. Let's see what I can find on it. Not much, but there are a few encrypted messages from Ziegler reporting on a rift in Paradise Island he was sent to study. Idiot didn't even have enough respect to stay to kill me himself. Well, it's of no consequence. Now that I know where he is, let's go show him the error of his ways. I'm right behind you, but not in a threatening way.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return? Thank law that displaced listen to reason. Think of the cost of our predictions and
Grand Architect! First an attack on the monastery and now the lift code's not working? Am I misremembering it? No. Unless... why this, I'm sure. Agent, oh thank good odds and high probabilities you're back. There's been an incident. A rogue faction has taken over the monastery. My seer, Seer Wiley, is trapped up there with other hostages of the Order. To make matters worse, my access code's not working. Without it, I've no way of calling the lift. No, I've known Landon for years. You must be mistaken. If what you say is true, is damning evidence indeed. But why would he do it? Align himself against the Order? Against a friend? That's a serious accusation. Why would I do such a thing? No, I can't discuss this right now. The monastery. Peace talks. Yes, Ruth informed me, but how did you learn of them? No one outside a select circle are supposed to be aware they're happening. Representatives of Auntie's Choice and the Order are meeting to discuss an armistice and possible collaboration. It's an unprecedented opportunity to shorten this war. I know I mentioned it before, but compartmentalization is crucial to the success of most of the Order's operations. I wish I could offer more details than that. But I'm afraid I won't be accompanying you. I can't be sure my presence wouldn't alter the outcome of your efforts in prodigious and unforeseen ways. Once you reach the monastery, make your way to the observatory. If the conspirators are seeking the coordinates of the talks, no doubt their efforts will be concentrated there. Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you. Well, that's certainly a relief. Let's hope we live long enough to enjoy the fruits of your diplomatic labor.
Have you beheld that new wrestle up at the monastery?
Can't imagine what the situation was like upstairs.
Uses attacking algorithms, never misses. Sounds ambitious, even for him.
I am 100% certain that its tensile strength is marginally greater than our combined weight. Probably.
Wait! Look! Someone just came up via the lift! It must be unlocked!
Setting into motion.
Reckon the Order teaches this flair for the dramatic to all their seers? Or is he a special case?
Let it strengthen your resolve, and do not hesitate. The time for ideation is concluded. Now is the time for execution. Those outside the Order, and some simpletons within it, claim that all things happen for a reason. But the wise among us know that nothing occurs without a catalyst. Today, we are that catalyst, setting into motion the future most aligned with the plan. Hold that belief in your minds. Let it strengthen your resolve, and do not hesitate. The time for ideation is concluded. Now is the time for execution. Those outside the Order, and some simpletons claim that all things happen for a reason. But the wise among us know that nothing occurs without a catalyst.
You sure do go through ammo, don't you? Not to worry, we can always craft us more.
Nice of Shirwadi to leave us this nightlight. Sorry. Rejuvenation device.
That device may be the deciding factor in whether you live or die in the near future. Unless you can expedite hemostasis and proliferate new tissue on your own within a fraction of a second.
No. But I have been told my pain tolerance exceeds normal thresholds.
Your mother must be so proud.
After all,
Guns cocked and loaded. Let's get this in.
Perspiring brow, if you try to cite that fourth pillar to me one more time, scientific advancement should not come at the cost of the grace and dignity of innocent lives. That is all I am saying. Armed conflicts are not the inevitability you are making them out to be, Anya. but rather the result of a populace failing to adhere to scientism's stoic imperative. Oh, and I suppose we're going to pretend the second pillar doesn't exist? I must have just imagined reading Alfred Long's 75 Thesis on determinism then. The anchor hold is proofed against sound to allow us to conduct our work in quietude. Hence the speaker unit you're using now. What happens outside is of no concern to us. Our lives are predestined, ipso facto. If there is conflict, then it was inevitable. Actually, an outside opinion might be useful at this juncture. Our current topic is whether war is ever justified. For the sake of time, please keep your answer brief. And how do you predetermine the harm of action against the harm of inaction? We make those estimates all the time. That's the whole reason we employ seers. We're going in circles again. If only we had access to the materials we requested, perhaps we could settle this debate. Lack of a door, for starters. You're currently standing outside of an anchor hold. My colleague and I have chosen to permanently enclose ourselves within this cell to lead a life of concentrated purpose. As anchorites of the Order, it is our duty to postulate on the universe's perplexities for the benefit of observers. In this way, we advance the plan through empirical knowledge. Then it's a good thing you're standing on that side of the window, isn't it? I need the book Only Real Numbers, The Casualties of Appeasement by Exemplar Kwong. Second edition, not the first. That's important. And I require Archivist Mahler's dissertation on de-escalation theory. You should be able to locate both pieces of scholarship in the scriptorium. I'd also caution against borrowing additional titles. The scribes are absolute fusspots when their work goes missing. Augustine? Sure. She's got a mind for provocative hypotheticals. Asked a lot more interesting questions than we normally get. I will add it has been some time since we last saw her. Not since before the schism, in fact. Why do you ask? Evidently, she was good at her job then. Augustine was obsessed with the rift. She wanted to know all the potential routes the Order might take to deal with it. We explained that the rift is an aberration of the plan's natural order, corrupting time and space and creating uncertainty. Consequently, all efforts should be made to close it.
Oh yeah? And how'd she react?
Well, she hasn't returned, so perhaps she didn't like the answer we gave. Happens more often than you'd think. Apologies, but gossip doesn't fall under our purview. We've secluded ourselves here to avoid such distractions, so I would thank you to exclude us from any remote drama. Much appreciated. We'll present our final arguments once you've returned with the research.
Those are N-ray junction boxes. That scanner might be useful to see how this place is wired up.
Found another one. Damn it.
Those who do not follow the plan will be eliminated from it.
This ain't gonna get to the abbot, but I have complaints that need registering anyhow. This monastery's too big for the staff we've got. It sure seems like the scienticians and leaders here ain't fixated on keeping neat. I might just be a novice, but at 73 years of age, I have enough self-respect that I shouldn't be picking up another body's lavation towels. Still, ain't as bad as it was in Auntie's choice. But that don't mean it's good. I just ask you folks to remember that there's more of importance out here than just your numbers.
It's the unknown variable!
as interesting as the taxidermied cross-sections displaying their internal organs I made when I was a child. Isn't this fancy? Guessing these are the abbot's quarters.
I see the good abbot's intent on distracting himself from the misery of existence with worldly goods. Never works.
is merely correctional ink, stamped onto a test of order aptitude. And whom do we blame when a student fails? Why, their instructor, of course. Bishop Basar has failed this order as its preeminent luminary. And without our intervention, she would make peace with the primitive minds of Auntie's choice. This must be prevented, whatever the cost, or humanity's ascendance will be forestalled by centuries, if not millennia. The blood spilled today is merely correctional ink, stamped onto a test of order. The stalwart agent arrives. I need more time to finish my work, so I've prepared a choice for you. The hostages in the card press before you will die unless you intervene. If you go through the door on the right, you'll find the means to save them by solving a simple puzzle. Leave through the other door, however, and they will die, screaming in abject terror. But how could you call yourself an Earth Directorate agent if you allowed that to transpire?
All right, what's the call, Commander? Seer was right about one thing. We wouldn't be very good Earth Directorate agents if we just left them to die.
Definitely not. We should be the only ones killing hostages around here.
Raise high probability. Violent competition. Another go. Wait, didn't even give us the chance to surrender?
Normally I'd suggest picking the lock on that safe, but it looks to be rigged to that ridiculous puzzle up above.
Hurry!
heard the Order enjoys a good brain teaser, but this seems excessive. Oh, okay. A bit slow moving, but it's something.
Look, they obviously meant for this to waste our time. Let's just find a way to kill the hostages so we can move on.
That was the right call, but we've no time left to waste.
Thank you, stranger. We should be okay here for now. Okay, Wiley is just dividends for all of us.
Test of order aptitude. Failed this order as its preeminent luminary, and without our intervention.
Acquired the scholarship we asked for. Wonderful. Please deposit the titles in that drawer there, and we will review it forthwith. finish reviewing the materials you brought us? Oh, well now, this is unexpected. The arguments in this text seem to have highlighted a teleological flaw I fear my own argument shares. You too, huh? Under certain conditions, de-escalation becomes impossible, leading to negative outcomes, including outright annihilation. An annihilated entity cannot advance the plan.
But maybe annihilation itself serves a purpose we're simply unaware of. You were right before. Participating in a war only produces an entropic feedback loop.
Maybe. Given your stance, you'll be wanting a weapon rather than armor, I'm sure. You can retrieve it from the same drawer where you deposited our research materials. We appreciate your time. If you have a spare 4 hours, feel free to stay and observe our period of silent, sustained reading. Otherwise, until we next confer.